After 9/11, the Muslim community in our nation was greatly affected and experienced frequent Islamophobia.
It's been 10 months since the death of Mahsa Amini in police custody, arrested for improperly wearing a hijab.
Islam means, it means peace, it means love, it means being a part of a family that spreads all over the world. Like just thinking there might be a God there, I just felt so much comfort in that. There's someone there, knows how I feel, knows what I'm going through. Never alone, I never have been alone.
Live through integrity and honesty, and you don't do things because you want to, but you do things for other people, really. And that's important. I think that's an important part of Islam as well, that I have still taken away with me to this day.
My mum just keeps reminding me all the time, if we ever kind of came home when we were younger and we're like, I don't know what it means to be Muslim, like, am I even Muslim? I'm not sure. She would just be like, look, if you believe in God and you're just trying to be a really good person to those around you, that's it, you're Muslim. And I think that's what I just try and take away into my life.
My mum, she never brought us up religiously, but she like believes in like horoscopes and stuff like that.
So I was born and brought up in Southeast London on a place called Shooters Hill. In this area, it's quite amazing. It's like this microcosm of diversity. There is so much diversity there. There is people from all sorts of different backgrounds and religions and races and everything.
So I am Pakistani. My family is Pakistani. I was born in Birmingham, but spent my whole life living in Bristol. So we live in kind of a more white area. A young brown Muslim woman surrounded by non-religious white people. It was actually, I think, more difficult and has affected me more than I know.
I was born in Germany. I came back here when I was like 2 years old. So my mum's from Cornwall. Everyone's pretty much white British. So I never knew a thing about Islam apart from, you know, those jokes like blowing things up.
So I went to primary school, and that's where I started to wear a headscarf.
My opinion on it is that obviously if people want to wear it, fully respecting that. But to me, it's just not something that I see like tied to faith at all. And I can't see myself ever really wearing one. The idea of like modesty to me is so broad, and it's not like, it means you need to wear a headscarf. I love having my hair out, so wouldn't want to cover it.
Women are so much more than what they look like. They're like a whole personality, and that's what's important. So that's why I decided to wear the niqab, and I think that it's a really good thing for women to wear.
Had a busy day and then around.
Hey! Did she sleep for long?
Yeah, well, she slept. Evening, isn't it? We've been.
My sister, she does say exactly how she feels, and I would say her comments are a bit more rude and straightforward. When I started wearing niqab, she said I looked like a terrorist. She thought I had become Muslim so I can marry my husband. Now she's saying, oh, she says like, oh, you're more strict than him. She does listen to me when I explain to her. Like I could explain to her, like, what does a terrorist look like? And she showed me a picture of like an Arab man with his face covered, and I was like, you know, that's what they wear in like desert countries to keep the sand out of their face. And she goes, oh no, but look at this one. And then she showed me another picture of Arabs with guns and stuff. And I was like, you know, a terrorist like can literally be anyone.
So my mum asked me to wear a headscarf when I was in year 5. Wore it, didn't really feel any sort of difference at all. It was only really after 9/11 that you kind of started to feel that difference.
No mosque, not here, not now, not ever.
Thousands of lives were suddenly ended by evil, despicable acts of terror.
At that time in our family, you felt Islam a lot more. There was, you know, like we'd go to family parties and you still have a little bit of segregation. So for example, you'd have like one room with all the women, one room with all the men, or we'd all pray together, we'd all do Ramadan and Eid and fasting together, and you know, we'd read the Quran and that sort of thing. I wanted to stop wearing the hijab when I sort of was at a point where I wouldn't consider myself a Muslim anymore. Not because it just felt hypocritical of me when I was questioning it so much. It's like how you start with most things. You end up just going for a run and then you're like, well, maybe I can run a little bit further. And 8 marathons in 9 days across the country. So I got into what I guess people might consider extreme endurance sports or just extreme sports, which is funny because I don't really consider it like that.
I only started DJing really like earlier this year in February, but I think that was because I never saw anyone who kind of looked like me. If I was on a night out, it was always white men, and so I never assumed that could be me. And it was only when I started like really getting into the music industry and like doing a lot of music writing, and there's actually space for me up there as well. So yeah, I started playing out, and it's been really great to just kind of like meet and collaborate with different people, and like starting to see a shift in lineups that like aren't all one specific type of person. I don't think my grandma knows that I DJ or that I put on club nights, but if she was to like see a video of me doing that, she'd immediately be like, that's haram, you can't do that. She's very traditional. So if I was to have like my own view on Islam, what it means for me to be Muslim, I'd be like, I don't think music's haram. Like, I think it's really fun and it's a way to bring people together.
There seemed like a disparity between what was actually written and what was actually taught. And it became a competition almost, like, oh, you didn't do your prayers 5 times a day today? Oh, wow. Or you're showing a bit of ankle today. Not great.
Feminism and being a Muslim, of course, they are and should be one and the same. I want to see more Muslim women, yeah, on mainstream media and films.
Nobody's really like making any like movie that properly shows Islam.
I would just like to see more Muslim women. I think we see them so rarely, and it's such a one-dimensional, stereotypical version of what being a Muslim woman is. I just want to see more.
To show that it's normal being a Muslim, and to actually educate people about Islam. Islam means peace. It means love. It means being a part of a family that spreads all over the world.